so excited about my guest today. You don't want to miss it. It's a very special surprise. So don't go away. We got a very interesting conversation to talk to you about. As I stated before, I am here with a very special guest, my daughter, Diamond Johnson. Welcome to the Chat Zone.
Thank you.
I am so delighted to have you here. And I'm not going to be your mom right now. I'm just going to be your interviewer.
Okay. So I don't have a mom?
Not right now.
Okay.
Just for a few minutes anyway.
Okay.
And now, share with our viewers what you're doing right now. What's in the life of Diamond right now?
Well, I'm in school. I'm in High Point University since I'm a sophomore. And I am working on a few different projects. In fact, next semester I'm working in Video Production 2, which is a sequel of Video Production 1, a class that I took on different camera angles, the basics of lighting and composition, video editing. So I'm definitely working on that in order to produce my shows and to create my own production business called Knockout Productions.
Yes, that's already in motion, Knockout Productions.
Yeah.
If ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't know it, and you'll see it in the credits, the first part of the Chat Zone, the introduction, was produced by yours truly, Diamond Johnson. And you did a remarkable job, and I'm very proud of you. You know, me and your dad are very proud of you. Now tell us what are you studying?
Right now I'm studying, well, we just got done with editing. So we're going to study more into like the detail aspects of producing a film. Next semester I'm also doing a class on movies and methods, so we'll be learning about movies. We've recently studied about this process called ADR, audio dialogue replacement, where they do this a lot in movies nowadays, where instead of taking your original dialogue that was on the set, they will re-record your dialogue into a studio, so that way it can sound more professional. You won't have all those different background noises, and that helps clean up the audio.
Wow, you wouldn't think all of this was involved in television.
Yeah, but
producing.
Yeah, my teacher he even said, "Did I ruin television for you all?" And I was like, "Nope, nope, not yet. You've got a long way to go in order to ruin it for me."
Yeah, yeah. Well, I know there was one time your dad and I came up there to visit you, and you all were actually like on a news set.
Yeah.
And you were filming as though you were news anchors.
Yep.
And I took pictures of you because, you know, as the mom, you know, we're always proud of our babies. And you did a really remarkable job. Also, I like the fact that you had to rotate.
Yeah.
As far as the cameras, you did the cameras at one time, and maybe you were the floor manager or you were the producer, and you all had that entire experience. And that is so key, because it's very good to understand what you're working with and how it all works, the mechanics behind being a news anchor or a journalist or a camera person or a floor director or producer. You know, and it's very important. You're studying media communications in school as well, which you have been raised in it practically all of your life, because I remember as even a little infant, you were on set. I would take you on set to the TV show in Atlanta that I actually co-host there as well, and we've been doing that for almost 2 decades. And she would sit in her little carrier on the side while we're airing, and no parent ever does that, because children are unpredictable. And I don't say that in a negative way. Children are children. Sometimes they might cry, sometimes they might laugh and make a noise. Diamond was very, very quiet, and the audience, well, it's an international audience there, but they have practically seen her grow up, so right before the camera eyes. So it's been just a pleasure to have you just as a daughter. Yeah. Now, basically, what I really wanted to talk to you about is the youth of today, because I'm very concerned about our youth in a great way, because there are so many things and ideas that come from you all, and you have the opportunity to talk with like your roommates and other classmates and people that are on campus. Tell us, what is it like being a youth today? What is it like for you?
One word can describe it is very challenging. Like a lot of us today, we're faced with a lot of challenges from the past generation that we have. It's almost like we're the cleanup crew. And every time we try to, voice something, like voice our opinion on something, we get shut down a lot. So that's why we're coming together as basically as a team. Our generation is, and I even talk to my suite mates, and I encourage them a lot because we just go through so many hard times, and we're very pressured to do a lot of things.
Is that pressure coming from the parent, from life, from school, from
everything.
where? Everything.
Everything. One of my friends, she was trying her very best at something, and she just had a nervous breakdown every time. And we're like, we need to stick together. We can't, we can't break apart at this. And the thing is, we're all, like, I'm the only African American in the dorm, and they're all Caucasians, and we don't care about race. And in fact, we make jokes on our own race, but we do it in a way where we understand each other, and we understand that we're human, we're people, and we have feelings. So we come together basically as a family.
Right. Well, I know I've met some of your suite mates, and I am just blown away by how they're not affected by what our generation was affected by. It's kind of like their viewpoint is, what's all the commotion about?
Yeah.
It's like, and that's my whole goal, is to try to understand your generation. How important is it for communication?
It's highly important. We sometimes don't understand what's going on, and we have people who are like, oh yeah, this is what happened, but if we view it in our interpretation, then we'll see it for what it really is, because sometimes we get the feedback, but it's not what it seems to be. Like, there are some situations out there that we're questioning right now, and we're like, why is this happening all of a sudden? But we have to sit back and we have to debate whether or not it's like something that's preventable, like we can prevent it from happening, or if it's something that it's going to take a long time to fix.
I think too that your generation is to me it's kind of like a quiet generation, quiet in the views of what's going on in the world, but not quiet in the fact of you're not going to change the world, because I really believe that your generation is really going to change the world, and it's going to surprise us. And I hope you're learning something. Parents, I want you to really listen to this interview, because she's speaking on behalf of maybe your son or your daughter and their viewpoints, and it's very important that we understand our children. So don't go away. We'll be right back. Thank you for watching the Chat Zone. We'll be right back. Looking for a professional painter and drywall contractor? Then look no more. Colores is licensed and insured and will make sure your home is beautiful, whether you want the whole house painted on the outside or just 2 rooms inside. No job is too big or small. Contact Colores Painting at 704-320-5736. That's 704-320-5736. Are you tired of being sick? Try our amazing alkaline water. Come visit us at the Water Depot, 3312 Highway 21, Unit 102, Fort Mill, South Carolina 29715, or visit us online at donnaritchie.com or unforgettablewater.com. Change your water, change your health. Thank you for tuning in to the Chat Zone. We're back, and I'm talking with my very own daughter, Diamond Johnson, and we were talking about the youth of today, because I'm always fascinated when I talk to the youth. The way they think is so different from the way we think, And I'm amazed at that. Even just talking to you and talking to your roommates, or you call them your sweet mates, and just their whole idea of what life is. What are their mindsets as far as the future? What are some things that they are wanting to do to change the world?
Well, we really all just want to do what we love to do. As far as like, doing our passion. We're all about passion and pouring forth our passion onto the world, basically. Like whether it's for reaching out, like I have some friends who do world outreach companies, and some other friends who just want to, live a lifestyle of like peace and love, and everybody just come together as one big family. In fact, one of my friends, I call her my big sister, because I'm like, hey, you helped me out so much. Can I call you my big sister? She's like, sure. So I have a lot of so-called big sisters and little sisters. So we just want to have that relationship of getting along as a family.
Well, now this is more of a serious question here that I want to ask you. What are some things we can do as parents to help our children communicate with us better? Because a lot of times children, if they don't feel like they're getting through to the parent, they'll shut down. They're going to go to someone. It's best that they come to you as the parent, but a lot of times parents, sometimes we can be a little bit closed-minded and not listen to our youth. That's one great thing I do like about us, is that we keep the line of communication open. What can we do as parents to cause that line of communication to stay open?
A lot of the parents that I've heard from my friends, they are pushy to the point where those kids will want to, stay away from their parents. In fact, I've heard complaints saying, "Oh, I have to go back home to my parents." In fact, some of the kids have broken homes where the mom and dad are separated. So the best thing to do is just to step back, for the parents just to step back and let them be who they want to be. Like I know one person who I'm good friends with now. He wanted to be an English major, and his parents said, "No, you're going to do something different." And so now he's a bio major. He's like, "What am I going to do with this major? I don't even know where this job is going to lead me." And I'm like, that's the problem with parents nowadays, is they force the kids to do something that they don't want to do, just to get more money, or do other things that the kids just they don't have a passion for. And that's why a lot of the parents just need to step back and let the kids be, let us be who we want to be.
And what about those conversations that we as parents have with our children? How important is it for the parents to just listen to their children?
It's very important nowadays, because we deal with a lot of insecurity nowadays. Compared to like past generations, I think this generation suffers from insecurity, and the confidence level has dropped to negative.
Do you think that's because of lack of communication and not being able to talk to your parents about whatever you want to talk to them about?
Yeah, because nowadays it seems as though the youth of today, especially some of my friends, we don't really like to go to our parents, because we feel like we're going to be judged outrightly from our parents. And that's a lot of the conversations that I have with my friends is, yeah, they're probably going to judge me because I do such and such and such when I really want to do this. So I think it's more or less we face a lot of judgment factors from the past generation.
So what can we do as parents, though, to help you get to that point where you can come and talk to us about anything?
Just put your preconceived notions to the side, off to the side, and just listen to us, because we have feelings, we have emotions, we want to put our passions forth out into the world without having to be judged. So try not to impose what you think is best for us, and
allow you to do what you love to do.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'll have to say, as a parent, we try to steer you in certain directions because of our experience or what we have seen that may or may not work.
Yeah, and that's a healthy way of, you know, just guiding us instead of like, oh, you have to do this because we said so. I mean, just give us a reason why we have to do a certain thing your way.
That's good. I like what you're saying. I know even in dealing with you as my child and even your dad, my husband, well, you know, we try to let you have a voice, because you have a voice. You have things that you want to do. And no matter how outlandish it is, we as parents, that's why God made us parents, so we can kind of help steer you into a direction that's going to be helpful for you, but we don't demand. We don't demand, because like when you said you wanted to go to college, well, you're in college, and we let it be up to you to decide what you wanted to study, and that was media communications. And so I have no problem with that. Dad doesn't have any problem with that as well.
And a lot of my friends, they're like, oh, we love your parents. They're so very kind and sweet. And I'm like, yeah, because I know that your parents are probably a little bit more hard on you. So I think that's what they really want as parents, kind of like you.
Well, I know recently when we came to visit you, because I could come and visit you on the drop of a dime, you know, you know how I am as your mom. But and I brought them some little ginger spice, pumpkin spice?
Yeah, pumpkin spice muffins.
Muffins, just as a gesture to say, you know, here, I know you all are studying hard, and I just wanted to give you this, and you share it with your roommates and things like that. And children like that. They like to be accepted, to feel loved, and to have that line of communication.
And positive reinforcement. Yes. I think that's what really will help this generation, is a lot of positive reinforcement.
Yes, that's good, Diamond. I have learned so much, and I love it. I love being a parent, and I love being a parent to this girl right here, because she's, I say, and I'm a little biased, but she's brilliant to me. So we're going to have more of the Chat Zone right after this. Don't go away. Thank you for watching the Chat Zone. We'll be right back. Looking for a professional painter and drywall contractor? Then look no more. Colores is licensed and insured and will make sure your home is beautiful, whether you want the whole house painted on the outside or just 2 rooms inside. No job is too big or small. Contact Colores Painting at 704-320-5736. That's 704-320-5736. Are you tired of being sick? Try our amazing alkaline water. Come visit us at the Water Depot, 3312 Highway 21, Unit 102, Fort Mill, South Carolina 29715, or visit us online at donnaritchie.com or unforgettablewater.com. Change your water, change your health. Thank you for tuning in to the Chat Zone. We're back, and I'm talking with my daughter, Diamond Johnson, and it's been a very good, helpful conversation. Tell me something about, as far as religion is concerned, when you talk to the youth of today about maybe church or what have you. Because a lot of times I have seen in church, because we go to church regularly, the youth, which is my big concern, I'll see them sitting in the back, and the adults are enjoying it, but it seems like they're not enjoying it. And I'm like, if we don't get them now, we'll never get them. So talk a little bit about that.
Funny thing you should bring that up, because I just finished my Honors Sacred Experience course, which is a religion course, and we did a poll, and my teacher said, okay, how many of you know about the whole, our religion in America, Christianity? And everybody raised their hand. But only like a select few, like myself and some of my other friends, we understand Christianity, that it is not a religion, it's actually a relationship with Jesus Christ. But as far as religion goes with us, we feel as though, because America, they say, is a Christian nation. the reason why it is because we have pressed on, like the last generation, our moms and dads, they press that onto us so much so that we become numb to it, and we're like, okay, I don't want to hear any more of it because it's just getting to the point where it's annoying.
Is that why a lot of them don't attend church regularly?
That, and they think that Christianity is more of like judgment. Like, I know some of my friends, they're not necessarily, they haven't been saved or anything yet. I don't know for sure, but they say, oh, well, I mean, I've been to church several times, but I haven't really gotten anything out of it except for the fact that we have to wear a certain type of clothing, we have to do this, we have to go through this, we can't do that. So it just feels like a lot of rules and regulations that the generation previous to us have imposed on us, and like, we can't wear pants, we have to wear skirts for girls, and it gets annoying.
Okay. Well, I know even for us, my biggest concern, or what's most important to me, is that you enjoy church. Because church was fun when we were growing up, when I was a kid. And so that caused me to kind of want to stay in there and stay attached to church, because they made it relative to me, my age, the teenage age. And it's very important, parents, that we allow our children to be in a place where they're really going to enjoy it. Because my mother always says, if you bring them to church, they're going to hear something. But you don't want it to be a bad experience, because when they become adults, then they'll stray away from it because of that experience and because of their whole ideology of what church is all about. And they are like, it's a bunch of rules, and you don't want it to be that way. And so it was very important to attend a church that was giving the word, yes, but it was fun for the young people. And so that's what we do. We attend a church where I love the way they cater to the teenagers, because that's your energy, you know, and you all have a voice there. You know, there are things that are done there that are geared towards your generation and the younger generation. And so that's why it is exploding out of the seams, because there are so many things, and parents, it's very important. I feel it's very important that we understand our children. I don't care how bizarre it is. It's very important that you understand them, so you'll know how to relate to them. Because if, like Diamond said earlier, if you cannot relate to them, they will shut down. They will just dismiss it as a bad experience, and they won't have anything to do with it or you. And you don't want that. You want them to be able to come to you, to talk to you. So you have to make the atmosphere conducive to them, to where even though you don't understand it, they will feel comfortable enough and learn how to explore what they like to do, their culture, and the things that they are passionate about. You know, I think that is so important, because it gives you a voice, and then it keeps the line of communication open for both of us. You know, and it helps me understand. I love digging into your life, and just not in a way where I'm being nosy, but in a way where I can learn how to relate and understand what you do and why you did it. You know, and I think that has been a blessing in disguise. And I talk about that even in my book, which, you know, I talk about relationship in my book. And I have a book called Maximize Relationship, Creating the Rhythm in Your Relationship. And even though you see two hands on the book with wedding rings, and it primarily is geared toward married couples, or those that are contemplating marriage, or those that are in marriage and it's good to just add spice, and those that are in marriage and maybe you're at a crossroad. It helps you get through those areas. But basically it is about relationship. It's very important in everything that you get in life. You should always get an understanding. I don't care how bizarre it is. I don't care how strange or how questionable it is. Always get an understanding. And so that's what basically the foundation of my book, and the reason why I wrote it is because you have to get an understanding of who you're dealing with, whether it's your child, whether it's your spouse, whether it's your sibling, whether it's your parent. It doesn't matter. Relationships begin with anybody outside of your body. So that if you have any kind of dealings with them, that's a relationship. That's whether it's a major one or a minor one. So that's the gist of what I'm talking about in my book, about maximizing your relationship and making it work, understanding the person that you're dealing with, what lane they're in, the good, the bad, and the challenging, and not competing with them, but completing them. We have to complete our children. That's how you keep the line of communications open. And there's a chapter in the book that talks about children and when they have to encounter maybe a parental separation or a divorce and how it affects them. And we talk about that in the book, and it's very important to get an understanding. Keep your children involved as far as the line of communication, and keep it positive. Keep it on an even keel, because in the book I talk about children love both mommy and daddy, and their whole goal is that mommy and daddy get along. But if mommy and daddy does not get along, understand, mommy and daddy, that your child loves mommy and daddy the same. And so I have seen where that incident may have backfired on the parent that keeps them the most, and you don't want that. You want to always keep a line of communication open. Let them know that it's not their fault. They had nothing to do with it. You have to really, really emphasize that, not only in word but in deed. So I hope you have gleaned something special from this show. I have certainly enjoyed bringing it to you. It's a subject that I've always been interested in, is understanding the next generation, because they have been labeled, I think they've been labeled improperly because there is a lack of understanding. But listening to them and hearing them out and getting their whole viewpoint is so, so, so crucial and so very important. So on behalf of myself, I'm Donna Ritchie, and my guest, my daughter Diamond, here on the Chat Zone. We want to thank you for joining us today. We'll see you this time next week. Bye-bye. I am so glad you joined us here on the Chat Zone, and I was so excited to bring my very special guest, my daughter, Diamond Johnson. And parents, I just want to leave just a little note that is very important, that we listen to our children and just understand, not just listen, but understand where they're coming from. Let them talk, and let's get that line of communication back open again, because we don't want to lose our children, because if you don't listen to them, they have plenty to say. I don't care how quiet they are, but they have something to say, and it's better if they talk to you.